Don't you do that here. Not in this country. You heard me, or you're out. Out, I said. Off to Australia. You can box some kangaroos or whatever they do over there. I don't know. How should I know? This is that American in New Zealand, not Australia. Okay? It is far too hot and too dangerous over there for this girl. Hey, welcome back. If you live here, you better know these things we're going to talk about. And if you're visiting, if you've washed up on shore somehow, you need to know. And I'm here to tell you, by the way, the funniest, weirdest one is at the very end, so just make sure to stick around for that one. Stopped raining. Take that, El Nino. All right, so let's see what we have here. These are from the New Zealand Herald, a reputable source, I imagine. So I'm just gonna read these off and we'll talk about it. This first law is called Quarrelsome Maori. The Maori Community Development Act contains criminal offenses that can only be committed by people who are Maori, like refusing to leave licensed premises when told to do so by a Maori warden, okay? It also allows a Maori warden to order a publican, that is a bartender, I learned that, to refuse to serve alcohol to Maori likely to become quarrelsome and to take the car keys of Maori drivers. Wow. There are fines of up to 10 pounds. We don't use pounds here in New Zealand. That's confusing. The act also forbids alcohol at gatherings of Maori. For some gatherings, you can get a license from a local Maori committee, but if the gathering is for the purposes of a dance, then forget it, no license can be obtained. What about like weddings? So you can't have alcohol at Maori weddings? Before New Zealand hosted the 2011 Rugby World Cup, police and Wellington City Council indicated they were considering deploying Maori wardens on the streets during the event. So a Maori warden, is that like a Maori elected policeman in their community? Bar owners were sent letters reminding them of the warden's powers. Some said they feared Maori would be targeted, and Prime Minister John Kelly called the law a bit racist. This must be old because that is not the Prime Minister right now. Yeah, that sounds not quite right to me. I don't know, what do you guys think? And like, what constitutes a Maori gathering? Does it have to be 100%? How can you even prove that? I don't know about that. It sounds a little sketchy to me. All right, this next one, no questions asked. Missing your cat or your wallet? Don't advertise a reward for the return of lost or stolen property. No questions asked. There's a fine of up to $200. I don't know what to say. I guess thinking about it, I haven't seen a lot of reward posters. Like in the States, there's all kinds of trees and light posts tacked with, you know, if you find my dog, there's a $200 reward. I guess I just didn't even notice. All right, this next one is weird maximum sentences. All sorts of books are banned in New Zealand, some temporarily like Into the River and others permanently. The Everything Marijuana book was banned in 2013 because it encourages the commission of crime. But changes to our censorship laws mean that possession of an objectionable publication, which was a fine-only offense as recently as 2005, is now punishable up to 10 years imprisonment. So now possession of the Everything Marijuana book is an offense, carrying a higher maximum sentence than actually growing and selling cannabis. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's weird that there's a book ban. Was this like 1925? Like, what's going on with that? What do you guys think about this? This is a little crazy. 10 years imprisonment. This just seems crazy. And also, have any of you read Into the River? What could that, did they go for a swim, but it's like they did the breaststroke or something? Wild? I don't know. Also, maybe you can't say in the comments because you might get arrested. Cybercrime. All right, one rule for Protestants. Any New Zealander who has a firearms license will know the strict process for obtaining one. I sure do. I actually made a video about that. I'll link it somewhere up here. Police will visit your home and those of your referees, I'm guessing they mean references, and ask why you want a firearm. And I'm guessing you can't just say because it's cool and stuff, like you can in America. You can say hunting or you can say sport shooting, but if you say self-defense, police are probably going to deny you a license. Self-defense isn't a reason to have a firearm in New Zealand. Except this isn't quite true. Under the Bill of Rights, 1688, and English law that Parliament has declared is still in force in New Zealand. I did not know that. So you guys still have laws brought over from way back then from England? That's nuts. Protestants may have arms for their defense suitable to their conditions. Protestants. It says Catholics are out of luck, however. Man, I mean, we have had some time to update this. 1688? That's a little bit, I mean, come on. Are you that behind, guys? Let's fix that. Blasphemy. There is only one prosecution on record for blasphemous libel. I'm thinking that means lying. Crazy lying. The 1921 publication of a poem by noted British war poet Siegfried Sassoon in the Maoriland Worker. It's probably a magazine. The alleged blasphemy was the closing lines of the poem Stand to Good Friday Morn, which reads, "Oh Jesus, send me a wound today, and I'll believe in your bread and wine, and I'll believe in your bread and wine, and get my bloody old sins washed white." John Glover, the newspaper's publisher, was acquitted, but the jury recommended that such publications should be discouraged. New Zealand repealed criminal libel in 1992, and Parliament is currently considering a law to repeal blasphemous libel. Man, things take a long time to get done here, almost as long as in the States. I don't really know what's wrong with this poem. I mean, poems are just like, could be just stream of consciousness, subconscious thoughts, unconscious thoughts. I don't know how that's lying. It's just a poem. Like, you can say anything in a song. Hey, do you guys have any specific content you would like to see from me? Like reactions to things or doing anything? If you do, just let me know below. I would love to make content that you actually want to watch. Okay, killing by influence on the mind. Having a law against homicide is sensible. Don't kill people. But one of the exceptions is odd. You are not responsible for a death, either murder or manslaughter. I don't really know the difference. I should look that up. And I have watched a lot of NYPD Blue, like from childhood. You'd think that I would remember. Did you guys watch NYPD Blue here? It was a big hit in America.
I love murder shows.
Okay, so you are not responsible for a death, either murder or manslaughter, if your actions influence the mind alone of a person, unless they're sick or a child. I don't know how I feel about that one. Some uses of this are clear. How would you defend a charge that you were a mystic who had killed someone by placing a curse on them? Okay, so are we protecting the witches here? I like that. But a Canadian man used an identical section in Canadian law to escape manslaughter conviction where a heart attack was brought on by stress during an attempted burglary. First of all, I think that's pretty smart, but I'm assuming it's the homeowner who had a burglar break into their house and he had a heart attack brought on by the stress of being burglarized. I'm assuming and then he had to shoot the guy, you know what I mean? It wasn't the burglar who was trying quickly to steal your stuff and then had a heart attack and then had a gun and shot the homeowner. It's kind of unclear. Both ways are pretty funny though. But like if somebody breaks into your house, can't you defend yourself here? Outdated costs. The maximum fine for failing to file the annual accounts of an incorporated society is still 1 shilling a day. Why are they using all of these like random pounds, shillings? Doesn't even make sense. That's silly. No nukes. There are still lots of unused laws that still make sense. No one has ever been charged with the possession of a nuclear weapon, but it's probably a good idea. It's illegal. Kinda wish we had that law. Good riddance. In online lists of stupid laws, New Zealand is usually represented by a claim that there's a law that bans the carriage of roosters in hot air balloons. There isn't. Compared to other countries, New Zealand is pretty good at updating its laws, and we've gotten rid of some weird ones. The Summary Offences Act replaced the old Police Offences Act back in 1981. It got rid of a lot of offenses around annoying kite flying, malicious bell ringing, and using dogs or goats to drive vehicles. If I had a nickel every time Barkley was like, "I'll drive," it's like, come on, get in the back. And when Parliament allowed same-sex marriage, it took the opportunity to replace the section of the Marriage Act that made it an offense to impugn the validity of a lawful marriage or to accuse the children of a lawful marriage of being illegitimate. That seems to have been a holdover anti-Catholic measure. Boy, that didn't age well, did it? In 2017, New Zealand passed the Statutes Repeal Bill, which removed 132 outdated or unused laws from the statutes book. It still bans associating with convicted thieves, however, the Law Commission has recommended that should go. So they can't like get letters in jail or, you know, sell their panties like in Orange is the New Black. Okay, this is the last one that I was telling you about, the weirdest. Pornography involving urination is illegal in New Zealand. How do we all feel about that? I didn't even know that was going on. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, I get that, but does that mean that number 2 is still good to go? Questionable laws, I think. Well, that's it for me. Please subscribe. It really helps me out so I can keep making these videos for you guys, and I really love doing them for you. Also, check out this next video, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Don't you like punch kangaroos in the nose if they come at you? I heard they drown dogs over there. That's insane. They're like tarantulas and scorpions, crazy stuff over there. I knew a guy who got his finger bit off by a koala. Koala. Not in this country. I'm just doing a bit. It's okay. Sorry, but it's okay. I'm just filming. I know, I'm loud. I'm staying here. Well, no, I gotta go. I gotta go eat lunch.